Where did your father learn those skills, tailoring in particular?
Oh, in Italy, in Naples. That's where I got it from, my father.
I see.
Because at that time you couldn't even get a tailoring job. So he was weaving. But he taught me from when I was a kid. He always said, learn it, put it aside. If you don't want to do it, you don't do it. But you'll have something, which it was right.
Now, how did he teach you? Was the shop, did you go into the shop, or if the shop was...
No, home. Showed me all the rudiments of tailoring, the handling of your needle, your threading, and your basting, and your sewing, and your setting of collars, and what have you. And it takes a lot of time. You don't do it overnight. You go step by step.
Right. So you learned all that at home directly from your father.
That's right.
And he had all of his equipment, I imagine,
Yeah.
his tools.
What tools do you need? You need a scissor, you need needle and thread, a thimble, a measuring tape, chalk, and a rule. That's all.
How old were you when you began that?
I really began that when, I guess after I came out of the hospital, and I had a lot of time, so I started learning.
And why didn't you learn it before that?
Well, before that, in fact, I did learn a little bit before that. But after I was getting back on my feet, it was still depression. Men that had much, much more experience than me and older than me couldn't get a job, so I just kept it and tried to restore it someday, and which I did. But in those years, my God, that the people have to go through an era like that to understand what it was and what it is to be in that position, and what it is you can't. Like today they say, I wouldn't work for that, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. Well, I got news for you. The men with professions that were only too glad to clean a yard to make $1. Men that went to colleges. Men with experience in technology, experience in every phase that you want to think of. They were out of a job. They were glad to get anything, and and believe me, they were not afraid to do it or say, well, this debases me and I won't go to work. It's a period that you either did something, because there was no welfare. There was no welfare. Whatever you made, even if it was 25 cents. But no one had that much pride and say, I won't do it.
Everyone did what they could to earn a living.
You got anything you could get to make a living. But these young kids are not young, but I'd say even guys in the 20s, 25, 26, hey, we wouldn't work for that kind of money. Well, they don't know what the conditions were.
So when you tell them, they're not
when the condition arises, I hope to God it never comes. But believe me, what you have to do is unbelievable. And you got to thank your parents, because parents in those that we had are not the parents of today, the younger generation. They could make anything out of anything, do anything they can so you could survive. They'd make anything out of water and make you eat it, whether it's a soup or this or anything else. They'd get flour and make anything for you, edible bread, anything at all. Today, the younger ones, barely if they could boil an egg, you're going to be happy. They could sew, they could darn, they could do anything. I could remember me fixing my own shoes. Right? You went to the 5 and 10, bought a set of soles for 10, 15 cents. Somebody had given me these that used to put on your legs, the old cobblers with you put the form in and you had the thing on it, had the hammer, had a knife, and had a rasp, and you fixed your own shoes.
And this person had showed you how to do it too, or how did you have that skill?
Well, you figured it out, and I think I did a damn good job because I didn't only fix my own shoes, I fixed everybody else's shoes that I had around.
How old were you then when that was?
Oh, God, we're talking about anywhere from 14 to 18, like that.
This is in that period where...
All that period. I even cut hair. Even for women, whatever. I used to watch these guys in a barber shop, and I think, what the hell, I think I could do it. I think I did a good job. But if you don't, try, you're not going to do it. You can make a mistake the first or second time, but you improve as you're going along. But you have to have the will to do it. If you want to sit back and don't do anything, but you got to try everything if you want to make a dollar.
What do you think was driving you? Was it the drive to make a dollar? Was it a drive to help the family out?
Well, it's a drive to make a buck for yourself and help your family too. It wasn't just a question of myself. So I bought a truck and I went into business for myself again. But things weren't going too good for a while. It was pretty good. Then all of a sudden, just before the Korean War, things were dropping to nothing. That one month, I don't know how many estimates I had. Couldn't get a damn thing. For building. For building. In fact, that month I had about 18 estimates, nothing. And who was getting it? Whitty Brothers, Thomas. Because they had men, they had to give jobs. They would cut you no matter what the hell you did. They were much lower than you and what have you. So I said, shit. I said, now what am I going to do? So I found this place which I had, not this one around the corner. Had no business, really. I bought the key. So I think I paid him $300 and some, but I bought a key. I knew there was no business. So I bought that and I developed it. But I tell you, for a year and a half, just to pay bills, you pay your rent home, you got to feed 2 kids. To pay your bills on a Monday came along, I was without a dime, just enough money to run the business. So on a Monday night, Tuesday, you'd go to a diner because you didn't have money to buy groceries until I didn't want my bills to fall on me. So you sacrifice for a year, 2 years, and thank God I picked up the business and it was going fine. I moved to another location up the street, and unfortunately, when I was doing well, Route 80 was developing. And they took so many homes around here, there were more professionals and what have you. I had a very good business starting after so many years. I figured, well, this is it. Now I'm starting to make it, because one Jewish salesman told me, he says, Joe, he says, don't give up. He says, it'll take about 10 years before, which he was right, between you getting a reputation or what have you. But unfortunately, with Route 80, they took so many homes, they cut through all the good areas here. It got to a point that they shut down 22nd Avenue, that ran into Madison Avenue, which was good. It was like 21st Avenue. And when they came from Market Street, they either took this or took 22nd Avenue to go to Madison Avenue, which you could turn into Clifton, you can turn into South Patterson, you can turn into Riverside, or you can go straight down into Sandy Hill. But they put a barrier there, and I was cooked. All of a sudden, I couldn't make. I came to a point I was making $65 for the week.
Because you were cut off, essentially.
Yeah, so I had my son got a truck, and I start canvassing and trying to build it up and what have you. Build it up to a point, but when you're out of the way and cars don't pass anymore, forget it. You're just the ones that need your service are going to come. Thank God I had a trade, that they still came to me. But you couldn't bank on just that.
Let me ask you about your, we've talked about the history of the place and so on. Let me ask you about the operation of the business. What makes business successful? What do you do to what combination of skills and business?
My skill is what makes this business. This is my skill. That's it. Otherwise, everybody does cleaning. Everybody does everything.
Right.
But what I do.
Which is?
Tailoring.
Tailoring.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you can. I mean, what does that mean? That you're good at with a needle and thread. That you there's obviously technical skill involved here.
Needle and thread is one thing. It's your skill. That's another.
You know, because a lot of people can sew things.
Everybody could sew. That's for sure. But not everybody could do what I can do.